What's up, guys? Welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing today? Di said he's first. He's driving. Nice. Multitasking there. Make sure you pay attention while driving, bro. Hope everybody's having a good day today. Happy Sunday. OG, what's going on, brother, man? How's everybody doing today? Oh, going to Sarasota? Nice. 75, so you're driving through Tampa, or you already passed through. Nice. Metallica, what's going on? David, good afternoon, buddy. What's going on, bud? Welcome, welcome, guys. Welcome to the Sunday stream. Let's jump right into this. So, Milady. We're obviously here to look at Milady, but we're going to look at a full spectrum of stuff today, right? Any of your suggestions on any altcoins, anything that's pumping, let me know. But I do want to point out a couple things for Milady. Obviously, we're all here invested. Most likely, most of us are here invested in Milady, right? So, CM, what's going on? And David saying it is cold. Where are you at, brother? I know the whole country is cold right now, but it's like different. There's like different colds here. I'm down in Florida, and it's like in the 50s. You guys catch that Kansas Chief game last night? They were playing what was like negative 20. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Ohio, okay, yeah. So it's different cold up there. Mark, what's going on, guys? What's going on? Yeah, it's brutally cold across some of the parts of the United States right now. It's insane. Like did you guys see like Montana? It was like negative 40 degrees yesterday or something like that. Like something that's the weather that like if you're outside and you have any skin exposed, it only takes like probably like I would say maybe a minute or two until you can start forming some kind of frostbite on any exposed skin. Like something insane, right? Let's see here. So CM said it was 11 degrees this morning. That's crazy. CM, where are you at? Where are you from again? I know you guys have told me multiple times, but David said I missed Florida. I need to move from down to Ocala. Okay. Di was saying the Dolphins couldn't bear them in regular season, so I know they would lose in this game easily or already. Yeah, it kind of was like, I guess it is what it is, right? Not going to get all deep into the football, but it's crazy how, they canceled today's game for the Bills, right? For the Buffalo Bills. I'm guessing because there's going to be massive snow. But like last night, that was like life-threatening cold. And I know the Kansas City Chiefs they're not even used to playing in that kind of weather either. But imagine you have Miami. Miami is the warmest city out of every NFL team. Miami. Right now, even if I'm in Tampa, it's 50 degrees, it's probably still 70 degrees in Miami, right? It doesn't get like cold in Miami like where the people are like this is insane, it's so cold, it's like down in the 50s down in Miami. It's that much tropical down there, and it's crazy. They had those guys out there playing in negative degrees. You guys knew that it was most likely was not going to be good for Miami. They're just not conditioned to play like that, right? So, all right. So CM says he's in Kentucky. Yeah, you're in the middle of that freaking Arctic blast that came down. So that's crazy. That's craziness. So let's jump right into it because we will sit here and talk about football all day, and maybe we need to do that one day. Just have a football stream, right? While we look at the charts. So for Milady particularly, I will tell you, so Bitcoin has really, Bitcoin really has, I don't know how to say it. It was like, we just been going through some crazy stuff in the last like week or two, right? And, I wasn't, and I'm sure a lot of people weren't expecting this dip that we just went through, but this really was a continuation of a sell the news event, right? We saw a big sell the news event I wouldn't be surprised if it's some kind of manipulation as well. Really trying to just continue to scare investors to stay away from Bitcoin, and particularly now, the ETFs, right? Stock market, anybody that's big in the stock market, they're usually against crypto, right? And they'll usually use that same crap that it's used for illegal activity and on everything. You guys, I don't know if you guys saw when Gary Gensler, he had a couple press conferences, and this was kind of around when we saw this big dip. Was he pretty much was like, I was forced to, forced to pass the approval for the ETF, but in the same breath, but I don't back Bitcoin. The SEC doesn't back Bitcoin. Bitcoin is used majority for illegal activities. And I'm telling you, like, word for word, this is what he's saying. And it's like, the dude has it out for crypto, particularly Bitcoin. He has it out. He knows if Bitcoin's not doing good, the rest of the market's not doing good, right? But I mean, he is just like the guy that was basically interviewing him was like, the guy was actually, because I watched his show a little bit, and he's pro crypto, and he's like, but he's like asking him all these questions, and you could see Gary just like fuming up, like foaming at the mouth, like just anything negative he can say, right? And it's just like it'll be a good time when we see Gary finally leave the SEC. Like I've told you guys before, I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin in the crypto market rally when he finally gets fired. When he finally gets fired, watch, you're going to see the crypto market really rally. Just because he is like a sore in the damn foot, like a thorn in the foot, you know what I'm saying, with crypto. And he's just trying to hold it back as much as possible. So with that, we have a lot of FUD going out right now with just the markets. We still have people that can't get out of that bearish narrative that are just still calling for, a big crash and stuff like that. And I will tell you, George, I don't know if you guys saw I Am George. He covered it pretty well. I think it was last night's stream or the night before. I didn't watch it all, but I saw kind of the gist of what he was saying. And he was showing that, he had a beautiful chart up of how Bitcoin particularly always does these 30% or 20% dips out of nowhere right before a big rally. It always happens, So I do truly believe that we're in something like that where this is really going to be the last stand, really, before we start seeing this big pump with crypto and everything like that, because we're poised to see some big movement in 2024. So if you guys haven't already, check out George's video. I think it was his last stream from last night when he posted. But other than that, what I'm getting to with this whole rant is that Bitcoin's been kind of struggling, right? Bitcoin's really been struggling. I mean, we're down to 42,000, about 42.8 right now. But I will say, for Milady, we really have been staying in this channel. We broke out a little bit out of the channel, which is surprising because we really have been respecting this channel, right? Maybe we break out a little bit, but we go right back into the channel. Milady has been looking bullish. It looks very bullish. If it was a different kind of scenario right now in the crypto market where Bitcoin was up $50,000+, like we were up $250,000+, I wouldn't be surprised if Milady was back getting close and narrowing down this local high that we just made about 4 weeks ago. I would not be surprised if we would be like that right now, given that just Milady itself is looking. It just looks very bullish. It looks like it just really wants to break out, but it's being weighted down by the rest of the market, right? Milady's really not going to thrive. And even if we did, let's just say we did have a big pump right now, it would be short-lived because the rest of the market's not doing good. Eventually, we will be brought right back down. You'll have some people or a lot of investors that come in, and that if the pump starts, and I'm saying like we jumped up like 50, 60, 70%, right? It'd be a quick one of those giga pumps, and it would be very short-lived, and we'd come right back down to reality, right? So we really don't want to see that right now. I mean, I really don't care to see that. I'm more of a long-term for this project, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are. So, that's what we're waiting for. So we have to just wait for the actual market to kind of just, all the ingredients to take place, us to get past this ETF stuff, because I still think that's what's holding us down right now is just the whole ETF debacle. A lot of people anticipated that we were going to be up towards 50,000, and we pretty much hit it. We hit the 49,000 mark, but then we got rejected. And we've been seeing this sell the news event since we've pretty much had the approval of the ETF. So, and remember, we were talking about this on I believe last week. I say last week, like maybe Thursday, maybe Wednesday or Thursday stream, that we still were expecting a volatile day, and those 2 days were very volatile, right? Friday really wasn't much. It was just kind of a real boring day, but Wednesday and Thursday was very volatile, where we were seeing spikes and drops, spikes and drops, spikes and drops. And that just tells you that you have a lot of people right now that came in short term and are trying to take their profits, let them go. they're going to be left behind, right? They're all going to be left behind, and they're going to be talking to their family saying, damn it, I sold Bitcoin at whatever the hell, or I sold Milady, or whatever projects that they're in, and they're doing this short-term crap. They're going to be telling their families they sold out when 6 months down the road, all the projects are 10xing, right? So let them do whatever the hell they have to do. We're long-term. If anything, we're all getting more time to continue to add to our bags, not just for Milady, but for all your favorite projects right now, right? So, it is what it is. Now, a couple things here. So I was pointing out we had this bear flag that we were forming as of last week, right? We've kind of broken out of the channel a little bit, but I'm sure I can almost imagine that we're most likely going to be coming back down, and we'll get back into this channel, right? I'm still expecting this bull flag or descending triangle to play itself out eventually, and maybe we see some kind of a bounce somewhere around this 62, 63 mark and find some nice, like I said, a bounce, but a nice movement towards the upside. We technically have bounced right back in towards this channel that we were in before we saw this massive drop, right? And that's pretty much what it's going to be. On our way up, we're going to be getting back into these channels, finding resistance, finding support, going through all that again, just like we did over here. So it is what it is. Like I keep telling you guys, we have more of an opportunity to continue to add to our bags. Me personally, what have you guys been doing? In the last few days, I have not added anything to my bag yet, because I've really been kind of waiting if we were to maybe drop back into this channel right here, which is basically anything under the 60 mark, right? We did briefly break down to this 5.9, but I couldn't catch it in time. So, and that's another thing that looked very bullish is we broke down towards this 5.9 and we immediately, it was very quickly, brought right back up. And that's what I'm saying. Like right now, while Bitcoin has been real stagnant, if not possibly slowly moving down, Milady has been really trying to hold strong. We have not dropped down to these crazy levels, that we were at, even though we're not far from these levels, but we've been holding strong. And that probably tells me that we've been getting a lot more investors in long term, and a lot of people have just been hodling, right? So, now real quick, catching up on the chat real quick. CM says he's in Litchfield. Nice. And Midwest, what's going on, brother? How are you doing? TJ saying the pump is coming. TJ says it's going to happen, right, guys? We all know TJ. If TJ says it's coming. And I believe it too, honestly. I really do. So Dave said, see, I'm not sure where that is, but my mom is from West Liberty area. Oh, nice. Let's see here. OG in the house. What's going on? Milady graph for this week right now. Let's see here. Milady graph for this week right now is literally good, and day trading futures is about to go up. Nice. Oh, and BP said, let's go. I made it. Yeah, so I try to have an early stream today, right? I try to do an early stream because I know normally we do 6 p.m. Unfortunately, I have during the week I have obligations from 9 to 5, unfortunately, until we get this financial freedom that we're all searching for. But for right now, it's better off that I do later evening streams. You know what I'm saying? So, but on the weekends, dude, we'll do early streams. I know everybody's I can catch everybody a little bit earlier. So now looking at Milady as far as market cap, we're sitting right under 50 million, right at that 49 million. Nothing crazy. Still a beautiful, beautiful market cap if you want to continue to add to your bag, right? Still such a micro market cap, in my eyes. Definitely in my eyes. Bitcoin dominance, wow, dropped considerably. And that right there tells you that what we're seeing right now is a short-term drop, a sell the news event. Remember, we got up to almost 54%. I think it was 53.8, somewhere around there. We have dropped pretty much 4% in the last week, and that just pretty much, that right there is pretty much just telling all of us that we had a lot of people come into the market that were pretty much just buying in, particularly on Bitcoin, on the news that we were going to get the approval, and a lot of them sold off, which is perfectly fine. It is what it is, right? Market cap is slightly down. From last week, we were up to about 1.76, I think it was. So we're down, nothing crazy, right? We're still sitting around the 1.7 trillion. So I think we're just setting ourselves up. We're going to have an epic bounce. and we're gonna see some big price movement as we continue on. Do you guys like this black background? I was searching for like a week. I'm like, how do I black out my background on CoinMarketCap? Because it was like all white and just bright. I'm like, dude, how do I do it? And then finally I was like, oh, right here, this sun. Bear with me, I'm a noob. I'm just kidding. No, but I was like, dude, where the hell? I was like, I know it's right in my face. So Whale Holdings. Guys, I have to break it to you. So officially, according to CoinMarketCap, there's no more wallets for Milady. You guys see this? Everything's dropped to 0. It's done. Just kidding. I don't know what's going on with market cap, but they like lost all their data. So we only have until back from the 10th. But good news. So you guys see, let's go back towards the 7th, right? And these are whale holdings. Whale holdings, anything above, whale wallets, anything above $100,000 in one particular wallet would be considered a whale wallet, right? On coin market standards. Well, we had 40, only 40 wallets back on the 7th. You start moving, the 8th, 41. The 9th, 46. And now from the 10th, 49. So we jumped up almost 10% in whale wallets. Wallets that are holding over 100,000 Milady. So that right there, guys, that's a good sign, and I think that's why we're holding so well right now during this dip, is that we have a lot of money that came in. That's still holding on right now, and they have not sold off. So that's great. We're obviously going to monitor this as we get into this next week. But if we can hold these whale wallets, I think we're going to be setting ourselves up for something really well. And another thing, scenario. Imagine if Bitcoin starts rallying, which we know it's going to happen at any time now, right? But we start moving back up towards 46, 48, and then dare I say 50,000. If we can hold, around where we're at, this like 66, 68, at least above the 60s, we're setting ourselves up for a nice, better run, because remember where we just came from. I mean, you guys saw we bottomed out right here at the 200 or the 200-day right here at the 41. So imagine if we can set ourselves up and go on another run from where we're at right now, we will be getting back up towards where we're going to be getting close to probably dropping a 0. And if not, probably breaking past that point here soon, depending on how well the pump is and how the market is, right? Because right now, unfortunately, crypto is just at the mercy of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going through a lot right now. But honestly, at the end of the day, Bitcoin sitting at around $43,000 from everything that it's going through is very bullish, and I keep telling you guys, I wanted to get past this dreaded ETF. Honestly, I wanted to get past it because it brought in a bunch of people that, obviously like we just showed, they're short-term investors. They came in, pumped Bitcoin, and then they took their money. They took their little bit of money that they made compared to what they would, what they'd probably be making if they were just long-term holders, and they got out, which is perfectly fine. But it brought the market kind of down, right? Kind of like not derailed us, but put a pause on our pump. But as we continue into 2024, we have big things coming up, right? April, we have the halving coming up. We have interest rate cuts coming up probably real soon. Probably within the next few weeks, they're going to be announcing some kind of interest rate cuts, that they have 3 planned for this year, which is usually very bullish for the market. So we have all this coming up, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of other things in between for crypto that's going to continue to drive us up as we start moving into 2024. So Craig was saying, let's see here, just got off work. What's Milady going to do? We'll kind of map it out. But for right now, to be honest, Craig, I would honestly see, like for today, it's Sunday. Volume is probably, low. Let's see here. So for Milady's volume, we're down about 6%, but we're down to that 3.5 million mark, which it's relatively low for a project, right? So right now, there's not a lot of buys. There's not a lot of sells. I don't see Milady really pumping unless something happens maybe later tonight with anticipation of this week coming up. Maybe Bitcoin might be getting a rebound. We might see somewhat of a move up as far as for Milady. But for right now, I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of just stay stagnant, sit around where we're at right now, and there's not really much price action for today. So Craig was saying, do y'all think it's too late to jump into bunk? Well, let's see here. Now, Craig, I know you've been here pretty much every stream and we've been mapping out bunk. And you had a beautiful opportunity to catch this where I already put this beautiful support back here at the 99. So, I'm not saying that you it's too late, but you had a beautiful time like a week ago to jump in and catch this dip for bunk. Bunk right now is, it looks like it found a bounce, it found some support right there at that 94. And it's kind of just been wanting to make a nice run. It obviously, we mapped it out. It made a beautiful run. This was up the other day in one day about 57%. Since then, you can see it kind of cooled off, was finding some support right here at this 200-day SMA. You can see it cleanly found support. Multiple candles, green, red, found the support, made a nice move up. Now, you can see it's kind of hugging its 20-day SMA. And look, again, for bunk, you can see we had a couple candles above the 20-day SMA, and then we had a couple candles, about 4 or 5, under the 20-day SMA, right? But now you can see we're back above the 20-day SMA, which is kind of giving me a bullish little sign. I would like to see maybe 3 or 4 more candles above this 20-day SMA where it bounces, giving it some confirmation that most likely we're going to see more of a move towards the upside for bunk. Bunk's market cap is back up there. The other day when it was up 57%, it was back up over $1 billion. You guys remember during that dip a week ago when we were looking at it, it was down 600 million. So you had a 40% dip back, a week ago that you could have capitalized on. I'm not saying you missed anything, because I think, like I keep telling you guys, bunk during the bull run is going to be a big meme coin. It's definitely going to be right there with Milady and maybe a few other meme coins like Sneak, and maybe a couple other ones that might emerge as we get closer to this bull run. But right now you can see bunk's market cap right under $1 billion. So if you were to ask me, is this a good time to maybe buy in? I'm going to first say I'm not giving out financial advice, right? But I will say have some patience. I don't think you're going to miss a crazy pump, most likely, right? This thing could, out of nowhere, start pumping, because I will tell you, when this started making this move up, this is when Bitcoin was really starting to move down, right? So Bunk was one of the projects that were like a standalone project that it moved away from the actual crypto market and started rallying on its own. Now, so that's pretty much why I say, we could see another pump while everything's kind of down right now, but honestly, I would tell you to maybe have some patience, and you might be able to catch this maybe where we found some solid support at this 200-day SMA, which would be somewhere around the 13.5 mark. Which, if you were to catch that, you could save yourself 10% right there, or get 10% more of the project. But long term, I don't think you've missed out. I think Bunk's going to be a big player in the meme game as far as long term, so for sure. Mark was saying, did you see Meme Combat? You know what? I have somebody. He might be in today. You guys remember my buddy that I always talk about? That is a H-bar fanatic. I don't know if he's in today, but he's in which H-bar, right? But he's always telling me about the combat. So he did post something. I have a Facebook page. I forgot to mention to you guys, I have a Facebook page that has I don't remember how many people we have on there. It's like 800 or 900 people. It was at a time, it was up over 1,000, but it's down, to like 700 people or 8. I don't remember the exact number, but I'll post it in one of the chats. But he just posted it in there today, and it kind of reminded me. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about Combat. I don't know if Combat went on a nice move or something, but he posted something in there. Let's see here. What is what's the symbol for Combat? I forgot what it is. Let me know what it is, and we'll pull up the chart. So Dai said he did the research for the wallets for Milady, and we're steadily going up. Good. Oh, TJ said it's still in the ICO stage. Is it? No, I think it's open. I know you can trade combats if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, you can trade combat, but I could be incorrect. You guys correct me. I honestly am not 100% familiar with the project. He mentioned it to me a while back whenever there was a big fight in Vegas. I would say probably about a month or two ago. I don't know if you guys caught it, and I think it was their first event, and it's pretty cool. Combat is almost like a UFC, but it's going to be 100% backed by their crypto. So you can actually invest in almost like investing in UFC through their crypto. So it's pretty cool. And I don't know as far as anything beyond that, right? Like if all the guys are getting paid in the combat coin or whatever the case is, but it looks like it has potential to really do something big, in the future if it can catch on, right? If it can really catch on. They're not trying to compete, I don't think, with UFC. I think they're trying to kind of not merge, but kind of just go parallel with UFC, because I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of UFC fighters are going to be in the combat as well, right? So we'll have to see how that goes. If you guys have the symbol on that, let me know, because I'm pretty sure, I'll look it up on the deck screen, but I'm pretty sure I've looked up the crypto combat. Is this it right here? Bro, did you guys see that meme coin that was on Solana? God, I don't forgot what it was. I'm trying to think. Oh, it was like dog with the hat or something like that. Was it dog with the hat? It was something. I'm trying to think what it was, but this it was on Solana, and it was trading at like 5 cents, and somebody went in there and dropped like $15 million on 2 buys and moved it from 5 cents up to $3 within a split second. Went up to like $3, and then out of nowhere, the project dropped all the way down from $3 back down to 5 cents within like 20 seconds. And the guy, whoever bought him, their position went from like $10 million down to like $5 million within like minutes. Crazy. That's why I tell you guys, the DeFi is solid as far as getting into some of these projects early, but you have to be very careful. You really have to be very careful, because it is the Wild Wild West, and anything can happen in that thing. Not saying that was a rug pull or anything like that, but it was. I don't know how the hell, if maybe there was whales already waiting for that purchase or whatnot, but somebody or something happened, and they like literally took half the guy's position within like seconds of them. And imagine anybody else that bought in at 5 cents, even at like maybe a few $100s bought in, if they were able to catch that split little moment of it going from 5 cents up to $3, they literally made out. So I don't know if this is it. I believe this is it right here. Ethereum based token right here. And it's sitting at around $23. You can see this massive spike right here. Went up. This is crazy. I wonder if the same thing happened here. Someone like threw in. Do you guys see what the deck screener? I love this now. Whenever people buy in, you guys see it'll tell you like if you're a whale, a fish, it's pretty cool. A plankton. It's pretty dope as far as just the symbols on there. But I'm sure if we scrolled through here on some of these buys, we'll find a whale. Look at this. This is a dolphin right here. But you'll see like probably there was a whale. Something happened for this spike to jump up all the way from $13 up to $231. But look how fast it was just like short-lived for it. I wonder if something happened. You guys tell me. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like. So Bunk, not doing bad. Like I said, not a terrible project whatsoever. I think this is going to be a big player in the meme game as we get closer to this bull run. Ethereum's been making some pretty good moves recently. It's still holding at around $2,500, which that's what I'm telling you guys. You look at Ethereum, you look at Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's been getting hit a little bit harder, right? Even though Ethereum's technically down 1.8% today, Bitcoin's been getting harder only because you had a big sell the news event, right? You had a big sell the news event for Bitcoin particularly. So, Bitcoin right now is just it's in the rebound stages. We got to get past this ETF, which I think this week coming up, how people are in crypto. It's shortly lived. People forget about it, and a week or two down the road, it's forgotten news, right? And it's just we're gonna keep moving on. Like I keep telling you guys, if Milady can really stay at the levels that we're at right now, I think we're setting up for a big move. I really do. I think we're setting up for a big move where we're going to be jumping up and we're going to be eating a zero here soon. So we'll definitely keep that in mind. Let's see here. So another project that's been doing great, Myro. Who's invested in Myro? I know we got a couple people in the chat that's invested in Myro. Myro has been doing pretty good recently. Down today, though, 16%. But if you pull out the weekly chart, looks very bullish, right? Looks very bullish. And let's pull it up on this chart. Let's see here. Oh, damn, this thing broke out of my fib retracement. Holy crap. So we can see with Myro. So right here, it's not far from its all-time high at about 17 cents, sitting right under that 14-cent mark. You can see it's been hitting its head on the 236 fib right here at around right under that 14-cent mark. A lot of people have been talking about Myro. I think Myro is going to be one of those projects as well. That's going to be a big project when we start getting into the bull run kind of thing, as I would say. But a couple things is with Myro, we had such a nice big run up that I wouldn't doubt if we do see a little bit more pain in the market, if you're sitting on the sidelines for this project, you might be able to find a cheaper price than what it's at right now, right? You might be able to catch it down here bouncing at some of these SMAs, like maybe at around 12 cent, or maybe if it was able to come down this 382 at around 11.5 cents, wouldn't be a bad spot to catch it. But if you guys can see, look at these massive gains. Same thing when Bunk was looking like this. I told you guys, be cautious. A lot of people are sitting on profits right now, and this thing could easily come down. Right now, from the bottom, which was just last month, at the end of last month, so maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, you have people still sitting on 700% profit, right? So that's why I just say Myro's definitely gonna, it's gonna have a good run continuing, but it might find some spots where we're gonna see some sell-offs, and you might see some spots coming down, and I will mark some down just in the long run. With projects like this, don't feel like you missed out. Now I would probably just look for spots that now you have the time to kind of wait, right? You have the time to have patience and wait. And if it gets to a certain spot that's comfortable for you to buy in, there you go. But don't FOMO into these projects that are already up 700%, right? Don't FOMO into them. And like I keep telling everybody, have patience. It'll get to a price that you're comfortable with, but you have to have patience. Patience is key. This 10-cent mark, big spot. You can see we bounced multiple times on this as far as when we were on our way back up. When we were on our way up, so if we were to come down, that 10-cent mark would probably be the line in the sand that I would look for as far as maybe accumulating or adding to my bag. You can see we almost bounced down to it around 11. It didn't make it all the way down there. It was basically bounced at this 11 and got ate up fast, right? You're still going to find some support because you've had people that have been watching it around here that maybe have been watching. So right when it dropped down to 11, they felt that was a good spot to buy in. Could possibly be. That could be the bounce, and it could continue on its run. But if you're listening to Crypto FUD, right, no financial advice, but have patience. This could be a spot that it was a decent spot to buy in, but you might find some better spots to buy in. 10 cent, like I said, looks like a good spot, juicy. And then obviously right here at this 0.5, you can see it pretty much hit his head on this 0.5. That would be the ultimate spot for some support at that 9.6 cents. So anything under basically this 10 to about 9.5 cent would be a pretty much a solid buy zone right there for Myro, in my opinion, right? Now someone asked, what's Jasmy's looking like? Let's see. I thought I had a chart up for Jasmy. I need to start saving all my stuff. Guess I don't. or I might, but I'm not clicking into the right one. So I remember looking at Jasmine like a week ago, and I was saying with Jasmine is one thing that's two things. Obviously, we're above the 200-day moving average right here, right? Which is bullish, right? Most projects have broken above their 200-day, and you saw a lot of them right when they broke. They had massive runs, right? Obviously, we've all been cooling off since about 4 or 5 weeks ago, since we all had these big runs in the altcoins. Jasmine, pretty much the same thing. But one thing I will say about Jasmine, particularly, is this was a nice move, but it wasn't explosive, right? Wasn't explosive. And what I'm getting to is this could be a pretty good opportunity to continue, if you're already in the project, to accumulate, right? Or if you're looking for a solid spot to buy in, wouldn't be a bad spot right now because of the fact that you can see we're not far above the 200-day. So being above the 200-day, bullish, right? Seeing more of an upward movement eventually as we continue to move on. But what I keep saying is this is actually a good little position where it's at, to where if you are wanting to accumulate, wouldn't be a bad spot to accumulate right now where we're at, because we still haven't seen these massive explosive move yet as far as for Jasmine. A lot of other projects, you go to ICP, you go to Solana, you go to even our project, we had this massive, we broke above the 200-day, and you saw this massive move, right? For Milady, you see, we broke the 200-day. We bounced a few times. I'll zoom in, and we bounced a few times off the 200-day. Confirmation that we were bullish. Boom, shot up 300%, right? Now we've cooled off, and that's why we've been saying not a bad spot to accumulate, even for Milady. We're not far. If you map out the 200 days right here to where we're at, it's a little bit ahead, about 60% above, but still not a bad spot to accumulate on Milady. So imagine for Jasmine, it's only 25% above its 200-day right now. In my eyes, if this was a project I was interested in, would not be a bad spot to accumulate or add to my bag right now. Now, you can say maybe I'll have some patience, like we always say, and maybe wait for another spot to see some kind of a dip. But you can see as I make this fib retracement, this thing cleanly bounced right here at the 618. Look at that. Beautiful. I mean, it doesn't get any prettier than that. It bounced right here at the 618, and it was easily rebounded. So if I was to say have patience, maybe around the 0.5 right here at this, we'll call it the 52. Right now it's at the 54.8. The 52.4 is at the 0.5. That would be pretty much a solid spot that I would say, okay, all right, we got, even though it's probably 5% away, if I was to say I'm going to have patience, that would be my line in the sand right there, because you can see we have broke a little bit under it, but we pretty much have been just sitting here, just bouncing right here at this 0.5, right there at the 52. So I would honestly, that would be my spot. I'd have my buy orders ready. If we are to drop down, that's where I would put it right there. But at the same time, what if this thing doesn't bounce all the way down there and it kind of hangs where it's at, and then we go on an explosive move in the whole crypto market? Like I keep saying, even where it's at right now isn't a bad spot. It honestly is not a bad spot where it's at. You still haven't seen that explosive move that's most likely going to come for the project. So this could be a solid spot to accumulate. Or if I was, like I said, sitting on the sidelines and I don't have any in my bag yet, this wouldn't be a bad spot for me to start dollar cost averaging in. Just my opinion. Now let's see here. So 3 Quartz said Yodo is another sleeping giant. Yodo. Let's see here. Is this gonna be on? We might have to go look it up on. Look at that. Don't you wish all the charts were like this? Everything you bought into was just like this. Just a straight green line to the top, right? Just keep going to the top. Don't ever look back. So is this Yodo right here? Is it on the Solana? That's crazy. I already have a fib retracement back here. I don't remember looking at this project, but we'll go with it, right? So this thing, since when we mapped it out, this thing had a massive cool off, you can see, right? And kind of looking at where it's at now, couple things I will say. Running on Solana, Solana network DeFi has been nuts, right? So I mean, the DeFi for Solana is like it's already in a bull market just for Solana's DeFi and maybe Arbitrum's, but really everything else for the DeFi is still kind of just ghost town for right now. But for this project, particularly for Yodo, you can see we bottomed out right here, and I'm just bear with me. It looks like we have 5 zeros in front of it, so the 26 mark is where we bottomed out at. It is sitting around the 81. Looks like it did try to find a bottom right here at the 66, but the fact that it made this double top right here and it's slowly kind of just trickling down with little spots where it will find a nice little bounce, but I wouldn't be surprised if we're maybe moving back down, at least finding a little bit more support somewhere else, maybe around this 59 mark, or finding right where you saw this little spot right here where it found this solid spot at the 43. I would say that would probably be 2 spots that I was looking at maybe to add to my bag if I was in this project. Not saying that it's going to come down to those particularly, but if you look at how the charts are looking, you can see it's been slowly just like moving down. And it will have these little, move ups where it kind of finds some support, have a nice little blast off, but then it's quickly rejected, and then you can see it makes another lower low, right? Another lower low, and they're making its lower highs and lower lows. So you can see the tract is technically down. Where is it going to find that support? Like I said, most likely around this, we'll call it the 58 or the 60 mark. But at the end of the day, the bottom of this fib is going to be obviously your massive spot of support right here at the 27. So definitely look out for that. But at the end of the day, long term, who knows what these projects are going to do. But I will say the one thing that it has going for it is the fact that it's on the Solana ecosystem. Solana, and as we continue to move into the bull market, Solana is going to be a big project, and it's going to continue to elevate its DeFi projects that are in its ecosystem. So you're going to see a lot of projects like, Yodo, Bunk, and a lot of other big projects that are on their DeFi that are going to do great because they're on the Solana ecosystem, right? It always works like that. Whenever you see, like when crypto.com, the Chronos is spiking up, you go to their DeFi and you'll see like the main projects are all up like crazy, right? But then when it goes back down and Crow goes back into its like hermit mode and it's just like not doing anything, DeFi is ghost town again. And it's like that for all the DeFi projects, all of them. Okay, so it's the first Caspa meme coin, but it's currently under Solana. Okay. The dev team said they'll officially branch the token off to Caspa once Caspa becomes large enough to sustain meme coins. Oh, okay. Nice. And then let's see here. Craig said, so Yodo is what is that? Comatose giant? Possibly, right? What was its market cap? Still at only around $2 million. So this is very small project. For DeFi, maybe one of the not bigger, but having a $2 million market cap on just a strictly DeFi project is not bad, right? It's not. You can find some of these projects that only have like $50,000 market caps, right? Those are those freaking hidden gems. If you can find those things before they explode. Looking at some of these projects, look at them on Solana. Telling you, Solana's still going crazy, but the volume. Are we on Solana? Yeah, we are on Solana. The volume for Solana has gone down so much. If you guys remember back like 2 weeks ago when Solana was going crazy, the volume was at like billions of dollars just in their DeFi, and you can see it's down to $400 million. This is what happens when the actual market's not doing the best, or it's gotten boring. DeFi goes to ghost town again, right? This is when you want to find these little projects that you think are going to be the big gems, the hidden gems, whenever DeFi starts exploding again, right? Because you can find them. You'll find some of them that have market caps under $1 million, and then just like Bunk and a lot of these other projects, they'll shoot up, possibly up. They can get up towards the $1 billion marks. Let me see here on Chronos particularly. Let me see here. Where's Chronos? I'll click on my watch list, going to MShare, going to Chronos, and big project on Chronos was, and still is Corgi AI, right? Corgi AI. This project, when I got wind of it, it was back here. The market cap was at like $1 million, and you guys can see it's at $500 million now, but it really did spike up towards like almost $1 billion on the DeFi, and these are projects, like I say, you want to find them when they're like just stagnant, not much going on, but you want to make sure that there's a lot of liquidity in these projects. You want to make sure there's a lot of liquidity in these projects. You don't want to make sure they're not fairly like a day old project, because that's risky business. Unless you're just jumping in and jumping out real fast, you have to be very cautious. But what I like to do is I like to find projects that are like Corgi AI, that are kind of just stagnant. They have some decent liquidity. Nothing's really going on with them right now, and I'll throw money in them. And I'll usually, it's like planting seeds. I'll buy into like 10 different projects, not much, but I'll buy into like 10 different projects, right? With the hopes that at least one or two of them will explode during the DeFi. And it's happened to me plenty of times when we were in DeFi season. I had projects where I throw $100 in, I'd come back when we were exploding in DeFi, and it would be worth thousands of dollars, literally thousands of dollars. Like, it's 100% easily can happen during DeFi season. So definitely. Now, so real quick, just to retrace and recap on what everything that's going on for Milady particularly, you guys can see, we are basically sitting in between the 20-day and the 50-day right here. 20-day being at the bottom of us, holding some support, and the 50-day is being some resistance right here, right? You can see we're pretty much just sitting in between these two SMA moving averages right now. But like I keep telling you guys, Milady, honestly, in my eyes, is looking very bullish for right now. It looks like if we could just get going this week as far as in the market, I wouldn't be surprised if Milady really has some solid runs, coming up, and we start moving up towards new local highs. And I say local as in like, right now, for the last few weeks, our local high is right here where we just hit around the 80 mark. 80 mark. So I wouldn't be surprised if we can set up, a good, scenario with Bitcoin and stuff like that, that will probably see us blow past this 80 mark, because we are not far from there right now. And think about it. Right now, the markets are technically down. We're only 20% down from these local highs. Bitcoin jumps back up towards 45,000, up 48,000. We're going to see Milady definitely seeing some explosive moves, and we're going to be breaking these local highs, and we'll kind of take it from there. As far as, remember, as we were getting up here, I was already showing you guys what we're going to have for some resistance. It's going to be that 88. And then, as we move on, the next big spot's going to be that 99.10 mark. Whenever we get up towards dropping to zero, it's going to be a pivotal spot that we're probably going to see some sell-offs, just because we have short-term buyers that have been accumulating down here. So if we move up towards that 10 mark, dropping to zero, from where we're at right now, I'll just map it right here, they're going to be taking profits with 75% gains, right? So, but at the end of the day, who cares? Let them do what they got to do. Long term, we know what we got here. We know what we have. We know at the end of the day that Milady is going to be a big project. The fact that you're able to buy in right now with under a $50 million market cap, you guys, I'm telling you guys, this is an opportunity. So put all the FUD to the side. Don't even worry about any of that stuff. Obviously, we're only investing money that we don't need, right? And we're investing money that would normally just sit in our bank accounts or under the bed in the shoebox that we don't need at all to feed our families or pay for our bills. So we're investing it in a long-term project, a project that most likely is going to show you what a 10x is, 20x is, 100x is. The possibilities are endless with this. I'm telling you guys. And looking at the latest tweets for Milady, you can see, just right down the road, I haven't looked at any of these, but I would say most likely we're going to get like 10 bullish, and you'll see one freaking bear in between it all, right? Emotionally invested, and they're maybe down on their money, and, they want the world to know. But you'll see I'm bullish. Ladies, I agree. This has a 50% chance of becoming the next Shiba. It's in a different class, and people can relate. You guys, we've talked about this plenty of times. if Milady can get up towards even a fraction of what Shiba did, right? Shiba's top was at around $40 billion market cap. If we could even see 25% of that, that would put us at around $10 billion, right? $10 billion. That is like a 200x from where we're at right now. Insane. So just keep that in mind. Let's see here. And then we see the next one from a different person. Ladies will be the next Shiba, but we missed a very nice bottom with 9 zeros. And they mean when Milady first came out, it was at 9 zeros. We're at 7 zeros. So imagine the market cap when it first came out. And remember, when Ladies came out, it was only traded off of Uniswap, and maybe a couple other swaps off of the Ethereum network. So that's how people got into Ladies at an early stage. Was it popped up? They were able to buy in at a fraction of even where we're at right now. So that's what I was saying. That's DeFi. That's DeFi right there. Let's see here. I'm bullish on ladies, and some, ladies by Myro. Oh, okay. Promoting Myro. I'm bullish on ladies. Let's see here. Ladies, come on, guys. Ladies too hot to pass up. She loves all kinds of investors except Jeets. Don't be a loser to miss an, invitation to the Millionaires Club. Let's go. There we go. So, I mean, you guys can see it. We didn't even see any bullishness. Any bears in that. Usually there's a couple bears that'll kind of make themselves known in there and talk the project down. But most of them have been gone because right now, I'm sorry, you can look at Milady's charts. It's not looking bad right now, guys. This is the weekly chart right here. This is the weekly chart. Let's compare it with Bitcoin. So, looking at the charts, we're pretty much just, in sync with Bitcoin, you can see, honestly, Milady is probably doing a little bit better as of right now than Bitcoin. But, you can see we pretty much are looking almost the same as Bitcoin's charts if you compare it. Let's compare with, wanted to compare it with Solana. Let's compare us with like Pepe. Oh my God, we're like right on par. Look at that, Miladies and Pepe. Remember, guys, when we were rallying, everybody was predicting that Milady and Pepe are going to be like fighting to the death, because what we've been saying, and I heard other people talking about this too, is that when we get into this next bull market, a lot of people are talking about, or not a lot of people, but you still have the holders for Doge and Shiba. And I heard some big names, some big people that aren't really big on meme coins, but they're like, you have to respect meme coins, right? Because meme coins, there's always a couple of them that are going to just do the craziest numbers, right? The biggest gains are usually from meme coins, right? And, there were a lot of people were asking, well, what do you think Shiba's going to do? And I remember this particular person was like, listen, Shiba's going to have a run, but there's going to be new meme coins that are probably already out right now that are going to be the top runners on this bull run, right? And that's what I've been telling you guys for a while, is that when we get into this bull run, Shiba and Doge they're gonna go back. They're gonna have nice runs, right? But I don't particularly think that they're gonna be doing what they did on the last bull run, because a lot of people are gonna be going into these new meme coins like Milady, Bunk. I still believe Pepe is gonna be a big meme coin in this next run. I'm telling you guys, you have to have respect for Pepe, because this thing was just you guys remember what it did during a bear market? This thing freaking made, your grandma was talking about Pepe at one point, right? There was a solid 3 weeks where you couldn't pull up a crypto channel, and it was Pepe. It was about Pepe because it was up like crazy. You hear all these stories. I saw a freaking story of this grandma that didn't know anything about crypto, somehow was able to figure out how to go into DeFi, put, I think it was like $1,000 into Pepe, right? And 3 days later she sold and she made like 25 grand on it, right? And the grandson was talking about it, and he's like, now my grandmother is like addicted to crypto, where he's like, you walk in her house and there's charts everywhere on all the screens, right? And it's like, that's how it goes, right? But what I'm getting to is like, just that the fact that Pepe was able to do that during a bear market is respectable. You got to have respect for Pepe, right? But the point of what I'm getting to is there's going to be big there's going to be new players in the game. As far as these meme coins, and the older meme coins are going to have to just going to move to the side. I don't think they're going to zero. I don't think they're going to, they're not going to have a bad bull run, but I don't think they're going to see the massive gains that they saw in 2021. There's going to be other players like Pepe, Milady, Bunk, and maybe some other meme coins that aren't even invented yet, or maybe are, that we don't even know about. That are going to probably come in the front run and see these massive 100x, 1000x's, right? So that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. So Graham asked, is anybody into Catcoin or Geta AI? I don't know. Never heard of them. Are these on DeFi? I'll look up Catcoin. Catcoin. Is this a, looks like it's on Binance, if I'm not mistaken, right? Looks like this is Binance. A couple of things I will tell you. I like how you can see that 99% of liquidity is locked, which means no rug pull. You won't see anybody, I don't think they're able to pull all the liquidity out. So this project is legit. Market cap's pretty low. You can see that it did have a massive run up. Buying in back here, like I tell you guys, you see how it's just dormant, nothing's going on, and then eventually explodes, right? This is how people make massive money in DeFi. There's projects right now in DeFi, that are doing this, that are going to do this eventually. You just got to find the right ones, right? You got to find the right ones. Now, after the fact that it's exploded, definitely could, go on another run for sure. Let's see here. So the local high was around the 19 mark. You can see it's sitting, basically it added a 0 after it cooled down. So like I said, not a bad project whatsoever. I don't know anything about it. Liquidity is there. That's a plus, that it's all locked. Market cap not small. It's around 3.5 for a DeFi. So this thing definitely, I don't know anything about it, like I keep saying, but could potentially go for a nice another run here. You can see this nice little double top, and that's why you're having a you had a big cool off. If I was to look and find some solid spots for some support, or if I was looking to add to my bag, obviously right here where it bounced, this is going to be at the 40 mark, is a solid spot for some support. And then I will show you one more spot that I can see as some support that wouldn't be a bad spot to add to your bag, which would be right here around this 61 mark. So other than that, as far as long term, who knows, right? These DeFi projects, who knows? But as far as me adding to my bag or getting into this project, those are the two spots that I would be looking for. Anything in between here would be a buy zone. From around the 62 to that 41 would be a buy zone for that. So good luck for sure. Now, someone asked, what about turbo? You asking about my car? My turbo in my car? Let's see here. So turbo's on the Ethereum network. You can see liquidity is solid, around $600,000 in liquidity, and market cap's around $24 million. You guys notice the first thing, I'm not even looking at the chart. The first thing I look at in DeFi is what's the liquidity at? What's the liquidity at? Because that's number one thing I want to find out. I don't like buying in on stuff liquidity is at like $5,000, because usually those are a big red flag that someone just created this coin and they can easily take out that $5,000 right when you put in money, or people start buying in. They can just literally pull out all the liquidity. So you have to be very careful with a lot of these projects. But for Turbo, let me see here. So fairly new project, it looks like, came out in December from this chart. So for Turbo, you can see it did make this nice, oh, it didn't load up. I was like, all right. So again, you guys see what I'm saying. You see how these projects, they just go stagnant. People forget about them, right? People forget about them. This is when you want to find these projects is when they're just, and it's hard to find these projects, right? One thing I will say, and I'll show you after we look at here, I'll show you how I usually look as far as DeFi, because it seems like everybody's interested in DeFi today. I'll show you how I look particularly at, like, look for projects for DeFi. So for this project particularly, I'm going to just put in some spots for some support. If you're looking to maybe add to your bag or whatever the case is. Obviously right here at this 28 mark would be a solid spot for some support. Where it's at right now, not a terrible spot. You can see it had this beautiful run up, almost made these double tops right here, had a nice cool off, and you can see as it's been coming down, it'll get these spurts. But be careful, we might have a little bit more pain. Like I said, if it breaks this 28, it's most likely coming back down towards this 11 mark, somewhere where it was before we had these big explosion. Right here where it was finding some choppiness, you would say, somewhere around the 12, 11 mark. But again, you never know with these projects. The only thing I can say is long term, just dollar cost average in. A lot of these projects will see the wind again, even if it's short term. So you got to watch these things like daily, so if you see a big spurt like this, take advantage of it. But for right now, as far as what's it going to do long term, who knows? Your guess is as good as mine. But 28 would be a solid spot for some support. If it breaks that 28, you're most likely going to be coming back down towards this 11, 12 mark. So be careful out there. Now, real quick, looking at the DeFi. So what I use is this is one of the charts that I'll look as far as like for DeFi. So Dex Screener, you can see on the left side we have all these layer 1 projects and layer 2 projects, but you can see all the ecosystems right here, right? As far as for Dex Screener. Well, let's say we're in Ethereum and I want to find some hidden gems. A lot of times what I'm looking up first is I'll click on the 24. You click on it once and it'll bring you up the top performers, right, for 24 hours. You can see this Die Hard project is the #1 project right here. A little risky. It only has $51,000 in liquidity. Not saying that's a rug pull or anything like that, but just be very cautious. Still in that little threshold that someone could... believe it or not, people have 50 grand. They'll create a coin, put 50 grand in and make it look like it's a legit project for people to start buying in. They'll get some buys in for a few $1,000s. They pull all the liquidity. They do it within an hour, make a few $1,000s, and then they move on to another project, right? So just be cautious on that. But I usually will look to see what are the top gainers. But these top gainers are already usually stuff that's already blown up, right? So you don't want to start jumping in on them most of the time. A lot of times I'm looking at what's pumping right now in the 5 minute right now, right? So I'm looking at the 5 minute. This Rape Radiant, that's nice. Liquidity 12,000, too risky for me, right? Too risky. Right now, looking at, again, that popped up, the Die Harder is up 25% in the last 5 minutes. I'd be looking at it, but the fact that it already jumped up 8,000%, I feel like it's already it's I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? It's already pumped like crazy. I'm trying to get those gains. I'm not trying to jump on something that's already gained like that. Other projects that I'm looking at, just looking down the list to see maybe something that's maybe starting to pump. That's why I'm going into the 5, and then I'll click maybe the 1 hour and look to see what's starting to pump, right? Some of these projects that are starting to pump, and the big things that I'm always looking for is, like I said, what are liquidity at? What's the market cap? You want to find something that has solid liquidity with a small market cap, right? So just for instance, I'm just pointing it out right here. This is already pumped. But look at this project right here. It has $48,000 liquidity. Market cap's only at $192,000. If we were able to catch this possibly yesterday, you would have seen this dip right here, which I honestly probably wouldn't have bought in. You know what I'm saying? I probably wouldn't have bought in just because it looks like it's on its way down. Right now, it's on a crazy run as of right now. But in the long term, if you zoom, it's on its way down. So I take that back. I probably wouldn't have bought in on that project once I looked at the charts. But it checked the boxes of me to at least look in and acquire, was that it had decent liquidity and the market cap was low. We keep it moving. Something maybe like this Bojack right here. You can see right here for Bojack, $48,000 liquidity, $300,000 market cap. Not terrible, right? maybe looking at something like this, you can see it looks like it maybe might want to start going up for another run. You can see, let's see, you're looking at this chart, a little W pattern forming. I'd most likely jump in on this, right? Obviously, you'd want to catch it somewhere where it was down here, but even where it's at right now wouldn't be a bad spot, in my opinion, to maybe jump in and catch this quick short-term gain. Remember, with a lot of these DeFi projects for myself, I'm usually doing short-term. I'm just jumping in and jumping out, right? Jumping in, I'll throw a few $100s in and try to get those like quick, whatever the percentage it is. Maybe you can jump in and grab a 200% gain real fast. It's happened plenty of times for me, Those are the things I'm looking for right there. So that's just a little outline of what I do as far as with DeFi. Be careful out there. I can't stress it enough. DeFi is almost like option trading. You can easily get wrecked. So be very, very, very cautious as far as on DeFi. A lot of times people buy in at the top because it's pumping, and it's up. Like I showed you, some of those projects are up thousands of percents. You buy in, and then this thing starts freaking just cratering, right? And your $100 or $500 investment just went down to like $50. So be very cautious out there. So just a recap, guys, because I know not much is going on in the crypto world today, right? Not much is going on in the crypto world. It's a Sunday. I hope you guys are having a great Sunday, right? I'm just chilling. I actually got a nice little drink next to me that I've been neglecting my drink. I'm drinking a blueberry Truly. Don't judge me, all right? Don't judge me. I like craft beer, and I don't know what it is. I've been on seltzers here and there just because they're like mostly water, so you can drink them and stay hydrated, right? Down in Florida, that's a big thing. You gotta make sure you're hydrated down here, especially if you're out on a boat or at the beach. You can't be drinking like craft beer or liquor out on the beach. You will be wrecked. Anybody that's out there drinking liquor, you can just get your popcorn ready. It's like stages, and then within like 3 hours, they're like dead on the beach. People are carrying them off. So, like I said, be careful out there. So for Milady, just to recap, obviously nothing much has been going on. Milady's still holding strong. We are at around the 65. I want to see us hold at least the 60 mark. I want to see us hold the 60 mark as we get into this new week going in. Hopefully, we're going to see some new price action with Bitcoin. I think what we've seen in the last week, obviously, it was a lot of price manipulation, sell the news event, a lot of short-term investors coming in. Thankfully, we are past this ETF, or we're at least getting towards the end line of this whole ETF debacle. We can put it behind us. And I think as we start moving into these next weeks, next months, we're going to see us get back on track, and we're going to be very bullish, and we're going to start making new highs, even though we did technically just make a new high at that 49,000 mark. So everything, if you zoom out, what do they say? When in doubt, zoom out. Everything looks great. We're still on our way up with these little minor moves, that we're going to have these cool-offs. No worries. It is what it is. It's just giving us more of an opportunity to continue to add to our bag. So with that being said, Milady still looks great. For me personally, if I'm looking for some spots to dollar cost average in, because I have not been dollar cost averaging in the last few days, right? I've been waiting to see maybe if we're going to get maybe a little bit cool off. Something like what we saw right here at this 59 wouldn't have been a bad spot. So I'm looking for anything that's basically under on the bottom of this channel, which would be anything pretty much under this red line, 62, 63 or below. So if we see some kind of a flash crash tonight, Sunday, you never know. Sundays are always, can get like that. If we see anything around this 62, 63 mark or below, I'm going to just dollar cost average in and add to my bag, right? Because we're buying dips and we're waiting for the flips. That's what we're doing. So, but other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. It's really, like I said, today's been just a boring crypto day, typical Sunday, right? We're on the heels of this big week that we just had. It's going to go down in history of how, Bitcoin finally, the ETF was approved, and how volatile it continues to be, for right now. But I think as we get past all of that, we're going to start getting into some good weeks and good months. So I hope you guys are ready. I hope you guys are listening as far as dollar cost averaging in on these dips, because it's going to pay off in the long run, my opinion. So other than that, guys, I'm going to let it be. I've taken up enough of your Sunday. I hope you guys have a great Sunday. And remember, hit that like, hit the subscribe if you're new, because we come out every day around 6 p.m. during the weekdays as far as our lives. And you guys know how it is. Anything you guys ask, I will answer. So other than that, guys, thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great, safe Sunday, and I'll see you guys tomorrow around 6 p.m., okay?